Nice Guys Garage coming at you with a how-to. We're going to rebuild a trunk motor today. Yep, these 3rd gen Firebirds and Camaros have these automatic motors that release the hatch and then they lower the hatch back down into position. Listen to how weak this one sounds. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. And the bad news is you cannot replace these with the factory new part, but you can rebuild them. People who don't own these cars like to slam the trunk down and push on it after they close it, and that helps to break them. And it helps to misalign them like this. Let's fix it. First things first, we're going to have to take these trim bolts out. I already have one out. I don't know where that went. And a couple of screws up top here by the motor. And then a couple of trim bolts over on the other side. Trim screws? I don't know. They're plastic and they screw into a plastic backing plate. These ones are metal, Phillips head. And then that piece scoots back and you got a little electrical connector there for the light. You're going to have to take that off here. Not too hard to do. And this is your motor. Well, see, now mine's not even working, which is part of the problem. But anyways, there's some Teflon guides in there, and those get chewed up and crumbled, and that's part of the problem. And then the motor here, it starts to fail and gets weak, and there's a gear in there that you can replace, and that's part of the problem. 3 mounting bolts all the way around the side of this. I don't remember what size they are. 13 maybe? I don't know. But loosen them up. And don't take them out right away. Just loosen them up. It's going to make your life a little easier to take everything else off and end up getting this out without breaking anything. You got all these electrical connectors here. And you can leave a lot of these attached, but this grounding strap here, this is actually a mounting bolt, which doubles as a grounding strap. So take that off and the solenoid comes out. And on this solenoid here, it's got a little manual actuator lever. See that right there? You can manually actuate that solenoid. And that's done through the key on the back of the hatch. Goes in right there on the interior side, and there's the keyhole on the exterior side, so that's what that does. You can replace that if you need to, if it broke. But ours is okay on this one. Then disconnect that relay down there. And there's a couple of connectors here. You have to disconnect those as well. They only go one way, so it's not too hard to figure out when you put it back. And then one more grounding strap here. Then take the mounting bolts out, and the whole kit and caboodle just pops on out. And that's what it looks like. This is the kit we bought. They might have other kits, but this one seemed reputable. Comes with some instructions. I didn't read those. And comes with all kinds of parts. So use some time lapse here. I unpack it and kind of compare new parts to old parts. Make sure I have everything I think I'll need, and then I get started. Here I'm taking out 2 screws for the motor. I thought this would be necessary. It turns out it actually wasn't necessary. Because the whole unit on the other side came with the new housing. So instead, all you really need to do is get to these 3 mounting bolts here on the other side of the motor, and they're inverse torques, and just take those out. Then flip it around and you got this rod. The rod's held in with a pin and a lock washer. Look at that lock washer. You just bend those tabs up a little bit and you should be able to pull that out without a whole lot of problem. Back into some more time lapse. You know, it's just not a whole lot of fun to watch a guy fiddle with this. This little piece was broken on mine. It's not that important, just keeps dirt and grime out. And this little lever in the housing kind of connects to the motor body here. mounting bolt there, another mounting bolt underneath this electrical connector there. So we have to take the electrical connector off the one mounting bolt right there. And then we can put that onto our new motor. So we'll get that done here. Again, just kind of some more fiddling with it. Make sure you stay organized. Got it off without too much problem. And the instructions here, they tell you got a couple styles. Mine looks like a style 2, which means I have to cut some of these tabs off and get my die grinder out, make them flush so it fits the new motor. That seems reasonable. Instead of using the vise, I decided to hold it by hand and make sure I'm safe about this. You should probably use a vise. I don't recommend doing that, but it worked out for me. I think those cuts will do, and it kind of looks like the picture says it should. So I started cleaning everything up and lubricating it and putting it back together. Now, these gears and bearings and stuff, it's not real complicated. They go together almost only one way. But look at this here. That bearing needs to sit behind the gear, just like that. And then there's a little wavy washer that sits in front of the gear. That's important to get those in the correct orientation. And it's supposed to be wavy. When you slide them all together here, you'll notice I don't have this top piece, this bar aligned correctly. We'll get to that in a minute. But you slide them together and don't use too much force. Make sure they slide together easily. If you're using force, something's wrong. And the old motor housing here, it's kind of filled with dirt and grime, some plastic bits. But the motor actually really doesn't look too bad. The copper's still in really good shape. It just seemed to be wearing out. Here's the old gear. Again, those teeth aren't really too bad. I'm not sure why it was so weak, but we'll replace it anyways. The bigger problem with this is in this housing here. This is the piece where the two join together. You've got those Teflon guides. Those are the part that everybody is going to experience failure at some point. See all those pieces of Teflon and those guides there? Shake it out a little bit. And these are so brittle, they were falling apart in my hands. They're deformed and just trash. Now the new ones, they come with I's and O's. Those aren't ones and zeros, they're I's and O's for inside and outside. Clip them on and pay attention now, because you can put these on backwards. Make sure you lubricate everything. I use the slide out lube plus the lube it came with, and just I don't think you can use too much of this stuff. I really don't. Lubricate all sides of those Teflon guides, and then lubricate the housing itself, and lubricate all the parts in between. And when you think you lubricated it all enough, go ahead and lubricate it again. And slide the two pieces together. Dielectric grease on all your electrical connectors. You know I recommend that. And here we go. This is the part that was misaligned. That tab should be right there, and it's not. So pay attention when you're putting these together, and you'll save yourself the extra work, but apparently I like extra work. So I'll take it all apart again and get it done the right way. Now pay attention here too, because there's a little electrical connector there that plugs into the bottom of that, and you got to line it up just right. There's a little tab, and then there's a little spot on the housing for that tab to slide into. Right there. And if you get everything lined up the right way, it will slide together pretty easily, and you'll be able to get that mounting bolt back in. Again, if you're using force to get this together, you're probably going to break something, so stop and pay attention. And slide that bar back up in there. There's our pin. Grease it. Remember, got to grease it. And there's the old lock washer, the new one. The new one, I couldn't get it to fit, so I just used the old one. It's fine. Just bend those tabs back down, make sure it's holding secure. When you get everything to this point, you're going to want to make sure the mounting holes are lined up so you can put those 3 bolts back in. Mine wasn't lining up here, and instead of just moving the whole housing like you can and should to get that up there, I decided to reinstall it and see if I could make the motor do all the work for me. That was a dumb idea. I don't know why I did that. And of course it didn't work. So I thought, push the button and do it again. And then I realized, oh yeah, you can move this. Oops. Oh well. Pull it back out. And now that we realize we're smarter than what we're working with, we can slide this around until we get the mounting holes in order. And then put those 3 bolts back in. Now you're almost done. Recap here. Got the new motor. Got the new gear inside of that motor. And we made sure our bearing and washer was oriented correctly. We got the new Teflon guides. More grease than you ever thought you would ever needed in your entire life, crammed into every orifice there. And make sure your pin's back in there. Again, this piece here, it's broken, and come on now, let's just throw it away. Jump in here and put this back together, your 3 mounting bolts. Remember, just do them loose, get all your connectors back up, your electricals and your grounding straps and everything. And then there's a way for you to really screw this up, like I did here. And what it is if you get that latch locked down into place before you have everything connected the way it should be, you got to come in here and manually reset it. So you got to take that solenoid off and manually actuate that lever through here. You can't do this with the solenoid connected. At least I couldn't. So just make sure you don't lock that upper latch until you get everything connected the way that you want it. Oh well. Got it all unlocked there, and solenoid back on, and grounding strap and everything else, and played with it and fiddled with it, and eventually, it's just doing what it should. Got real no explanation for it other than just fiddle with it until you start to get it to where it seems like it's in the right position. Then you can use a screwdriver to trick the motor and think the hatch is down. Go play with the button. Did you see that? It unlocked like it should have. If you didn't, rewind and check that again. You pull your screwdriver out, that simulates the hatch popping up, and the motor comes up. Let's check it again with the actual hatch now. Yep. There you go, that seems right. Then we'll pop it up again, put everything back together, trim pieces, plug that light in, 2 screws over there, and 2 bolts up top, and I think I ended up losing one of these and use a magnetic tray or something. Now for the realignment. There's 4 bolts at the top of this hatch where the glass meets the body. 2 on each side. And you want to loosen those up on both sides. I should have paid attention. What size are these? I don't know. If you have a helper, it really makes this part a lot easier. But I was by myself. And you got to take the hood struts off here. Don't forget to disconnect that electrical connector and then pull that bolt. And after those come off, this hatch is free weight, so you lift it all the way up. I'm sitting in the back of the car right now. Push it down towards the bolts there and tighten them up, and then readjust your bump stops there. That's closer, but I'll do better when I get a friend to help me out. Pop the hatch. Yep. There you go. Pops up on its own like it should. Just make sure she closes okay. There it is. Hashtag winning. Thanks for watching, guys and gals. We really do appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We have a TikTok too if you're interested in that. And comment below. Let us know what you liked and didn't like.